Fighting for freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution. The Patrick Riggins Show. Call in now at 865-243-8255. That's 243-TALK. And now your host, Patrick Riggins.
Welcome back to the Patrick Riggins Show, playing some old Jefferson Airplane. I guess that's before they converted over to a space vehicle and became Jefferson Starship. Sometimes I get people asking me why I play so much music on this show. It's because...
Patrick, why do you play so much music on this show?
Thank you, Tori.
I wasn't ready for that one.
You didn't get that microphone up quick, though. It's because I like music, and so does Tori. Tori plays music.
Yes.
I like it a lot. And besides, the listening audience doesn't want to sit out there and hear all this stuff the government's doing to us without some sort of break.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, and playing a little music is a good way to enjoy that time between segments.
You put a little sugar on it, ain't you, Patrick?
Yeah.
Put a little sugar, put a little butter on it.
Yeah, so it goes down a little easier. So
that's a good way of putting that.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's you don't want to have screaming and yelling the whole time. You want something, you know, a little break from it, and music's a great way to do it. So
there you have it.
There you have it. That's why when you getting kind of mad at work or have an argument at work, you put in that rock music on the way home. But anyway, I digress. Oh yeah. You know, sometimes we'll start a show and it'll be weird, and then it cleans up by the half break. This one was good, and now it's kind of deviating here at the break.
So. Patrick usually has something planned out.
Yeah.
And I'll work to get him sidetracked off of it.
And then it all falls apart. But hey, that's part of the fun of the show. All right. Anyway, the Republicans this week had their convention, albeit a shortened one because of the bullying by the media to cut it short or just outright cancel it. That's really no surprise, as the Republican leadership are all a bunch of scared little wimpy pansies worried about whether the talking heads in the news media like them or not. I'd hate to have to depend on one of these guys to have my back during a fight. They'd be the one that the big tough talking guy until someone threw a punch. Then they'd be the first one out the door, leaving you standing there by yourself. Wouldn't you say that, Tori? Yeah, they're the ones talking loud till something happens. But anyway, getting back to the story, the Republican leadership is so scared of the libertarian side of the party that they implemented a new rule at the convention to stop people like the Ron Paul supporters or other grassroots activists like the Tea Party from having any say in the nominating process. The new rule states that there are no more free delegates who can pick and choose for whom they want to vote. It also states that once a delegate is elected by the people of that state, let's say the National Party and the candidate decide they don't want them to serve as a delegate, well, they can be replaced. The goal of this rule is to prevent anyone other than the establishment's chosen candidate from being able to be picked and possibly give their chosen guy a run for their money. And if you, at the state level, elect delegates the national establishment people don't agree with, they're just going to reappoint substitutes that will toe the establishment's line. Before the vote on the new rule, the delegates from Rhode Island and Virginia were on a bus to the convention from their hotel, but the driver refused to stop and instead circled the parking lot until the vote inside had been taken. The goal was not to keep the majority of the riders on that bus out of the convention, but to keep one of them, Mr. Morton Blackwell, keep him out. He is a member of the Republican Rules Committee and a big opponent to the rules change. Now, the RNC had a vote on the matter of whether to adopt this version of the rule, and we have that audio. Here it is.
The question is on the adoption of the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion reconsidered is laid on the table.
Okay, listen to the vote again. Here are the ayes. Here are the noes. They sound identical to me. I've run this over and over through an audio analysis program and get the same reading. But the chair, who was the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, stated the ayes have it. There is also a video of the teleprompter on YouTube that Speaker Boehner was using, which showed no matter what the outcome, the text read, the ayes have it, demonstrating they really did not care what everyone voted. They already were going to have a rule change whether you liked it or not. If you think this sounds like something out of a totalitarian's handbook, you'd be right. What they are saying is you can vote for whomever you want as long as it is their candidate. And thinking about it, Saddam Hussein used to run his party and country much the same way, along with all the other totalitarian leaders in their states. This is why I say over and over, there is not a whole lot of difference between the two parties. They both lust for power and want more of it. They both want to run your life because they think, well, wait, they know they can do it better than you can. This rule change demonstrates that more clearly than anything else could. You cannot be trusted to pick the right person. If you vote for the wrong candidate in the party primaries, as they see it, then they will throw out your elected person and put their own in. Yeah, that sounds just like a representative election to me. If they cannot even run their party in a representative fashion, what makes you think they are going to run the government any differently? Now, if you want to hear that vote again, I'll play it again real quick for you. This was the ayes. Okay, this was the noes. So, why did the Republican leaders act the way they did? Because deep down, they are all big government people, just like the Democrats. At that level, everyone is pro-big government, no matter the party. The only reason they want to win elections is so that they can be in power, not to make any changes, because changes are never made. Do you ever wonder why politicians never deliver on their promises to cut spending? Because they don't agree with it. They know you, the taxpayer, does, but they sure don't. Why do you think that is? It's because money is power, and 99.9% of the people going into government want that power. So cutting spending cuts their power, the very reason they were getting into government in the first place. Both parties will tell you electing the other person will result in doom and gloom for the country, when in reality, they are both screwing us over. Both parties are robbing the American people of our money, our dignity, and most importantly, our freedom. When people ask me for whom they should vote for president, I always tell them it doesn't matter. Concentrate on Congress. That is where we can make a difference. Kick these bums out that are trying to squelch the voices of the people. I don't give a flip what letter is after their name. Kick them out. Both Republicans and Democrats, they are screwing us over. And don't tell me it isn't your guy or gal in Congress doing it. I love talking to these hypocrites. They'll tell you how much money Congress wastes, how we need to get people off welfare and back to work. But keep talking to them and ask them about their representative. They'll start telling you how wonderful their congressman is. They'll even have a little story like, well, 2 years ago, I got turned down, or my grandmother got turned down for disability, but then they called their congressman's office and got it approved. Isn't that great? Their representative really worked to help them out. When I hear that, I just want to slap these people and say, look, if you don't want to support yourself or your grandmother or whoever, at least have the courtesy to ask me for the money instead of sending some government thug to take it at the point of a gun. These people are no better than the politicians they elect. They talk a good game, but when it comes time to play, they want their pork barrel project, or their disability, or their welfare check, or some other form of governmental aid. Sure, everyone else is ripping off the taxpayers of this country, but it's okay when they do it. They need that government check. Their circumstances are different. Oh, we're coming up on a break again here. We'll have to cut that little thing short here on the Patrick Riggins Show. Time just flies by on this show. It's because we have so much to pack into 1 hour. It's really hard to get in. So we'll be back after a couple of messages here with some more fun and excitement for the last segment. Be with us. Yeah, Tori's ready. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.